Words are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done, Ray. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
Phoenix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick Fremo.
Oh yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day of not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
And now your spelling impaired hosts.
Welcome to BGFG, episode 380. I am host Chris Phoenix, and joining me, as always, my brother from another mother, Mr. Fremo Z. How are you doing this week, sir?
Thoroughly enjoying the vacation time.
It seems it, man. You are. I haven't seen you this relaxed in a while.
Very relaxed. Very relaxed.
You are very relaxed. My vacation did not go the same.
Part of it might be, my soul just feels better.
How so?
Well, I decided I was going to give some reparations to the indigenous people of this region.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel better about myself.
What exactly are we talking about here?
Oh, I went to the casino.
Nice. I went to the casino, giving back to the indigenous. There's wrong on many levels. That's definitely...
Oh, that's going to give me some hate mail.
There's no doubt. I'm just saying.
Well, my great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee, so, yeah.
Oh, that's
people
that's
are close
cool.
to my heart.
I did not know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, most people don't. If they would loosen the tribal regulations a teeny tiny bit, I would qualify to get in.
I really don't think they're going to do that free.
No.
So we got a smaller.
And I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
I don't either. We have a smaller news segment because we got a lot to talk about in the second half with Stick Style as well as For What It's Worth.
About that.
What about that?
Although I'm on vacation, I still have some obligations, so I may have to bolt on you this morning. Yeah, I know. I just found out a little while ago myself, so something has come up.
Well, okay. That'll happen. Those sort of things happen. What can you do? That's the life of a BGFG person. That's the life of a Gen Xer right there. That's what that is.
Yep.
So, let's get into this week's news, and we'll get it started off.
BGFG News. You heard it here third.
So, hopefully, one of the things, we're going to start the show off and end the show this week with stuff that are close to Fremo and I's geek heart. The first thing is The Onion, because The Onion never lets you down.
No.
It does not. And if you don't know, The Onion is a satire newspaper, I guess you could say. And for a while...
Oh, I looked at the wrong onion.
What onion did
I
you
got
look
together
at?
some of my favorite recipes.
Oh, I hate you. You're such a dick. It's kind of funny, though. So
I figured it would fit the story.
It will work with the story, yes. So The Onion is fake news, essentially fake news and satire and parody. And they do it very well.
But is it?
Possibly.
It's kind of like The Simpsons with the whole president.
With the
stuff.
Predictions.
Yeah.
Simpsons with predictions, yeah. So The Onion, I remember when you could get The Onion as an actual newspaper in some locations, which was very cool. They are filing an amicus brief. Now, what that is Latin for friend of the court. What they're doing is they're offering a First Amendment defense for anything parody-wise. Because they're tired of kind of getting sued. You know, and I quote, "The Onion files this brief to protect its continued ability to create fiction that may ultimately merge into reality."
Yeah.
So, you're right. So, like The Simpsons have predicted the future, The Onion's like, look, because we said Trump did A, B, and C, does, we didn't think he was going to.
Yeah, we didn't know it was going to turn out that way.
Parody sometimes turns into reality. And The Onion came. So, The Onion's been doing this for a while. This isn't something new. They've been on this since 1988.
Yeah.
The Onion News Network. The best is that they're so good at it after 34 years that you and I have both posted stuff on blogs, social media. You're not on social media, I am. Blogs, social media, and we also have seen, like, your wife or loved ones have shown you on is this real? On one of their social medias, and it's like a complete onion. Like, we look at it, you and I look at it and see
as soon as you see the onion,
we're like,
we know.
Yeah. I'm like, no, this is not real. And I cannot tell you, the best is when I was on social media, on Facebook, I should say. Now I'm not on Facebook, but I do have Twitter. But on Facebook, when I would post, and I would do that shit on purpose, my wife would get so pissed off at me because I would do it on purpose. I'd be like, oh, look at this headline. She'd go, yeah. And then I posted on Facebook, and she'd be like, why'd you do that? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, your aunts, your grandparents, like, our parents are all going to freak out. 100% did. I knew this shit would happen.
I think if anyone in their right mind would take a moment to research where they're getting their news from, you see a headline and it says it comes from, this source or that source. Take, you could probably do it in 30 seconds, but just look up the source and see who they are.
Right.
Google The Onion News.
If it directs you to The Onion or BGFG, you probably shouldn't be believing it.
Well, you know what their Latin phrase is, right?
Yeah. I was just going to read
motto?
that. To stultus. I can't say it.
To stultus es.
And which means?
Well, to is you. S is or are, depending on the tense of the phrase.
Uh-huh.
And stultus is basically stupid, so you are stupid.
So the exact quote is, these three Latin words have been the Onion's motto and guiding light since it was founded in 88. As America's finest news source, which I love that they say, America's finest news source, leading its writers toward the paper's singular purpose of pointing out that its readers are deeply gullible people. The Onion's motto is central to the belief for two important reasons. First, it's Latin. Second, the Onion knows that the federal jury is staffed entirely by total dorks. The second reason, which is great because they did that. The second reason, perhaps mildly more important, is that the phrase "you are dumb" captures the very heart of parody, tricking readers into believing that they are seeing a serious rendering of some specific form, a pop song lyric, a newspaper article, a police beat, and then allowing them to laugh at their own gullibility when they realize that they've fallen victim to one of the oldest tricks in history of rhetoric. Brilliant. Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better at all. It's look.
And they use one of my favorite words that doesn't. Yeah. Do you know if you start saying banana and you slow it down like a half a beat each time you repeat it, you end up saying the word gullible. It's like a trick of the brain.
I'm not doing it. Been around you way too long. Not going to do it.
Just saying.
So the Onion's come up with gems over the years, dude. Like facial recognition software knows it's seen this man before, but can't remember his name. That is, and that's a headline. That is a headline they would have, and you'd go looking for it, and you'd be like, man, what the fuck? And speaking of facial recognition, did you see that TechCrunch just reported? I didn't even know this, that there's a new bill coming.
Yeah.
And we've talked about like the camera thing. A couple of shows back, we talked about the cameras and how, there's a like we did a couple of different stories. One of them was that Ring Doorbell basically gives them everything. And now Google's actually loosening up their restraints as well. So my Nest cameras are all suspect. They can be given away or taken away. The problem that we had at BGFG was that they had a piece of software that could do this. without anybody's permission or anything else. If it was an emergency or involved in an investigation, they had the rights to go snoop. I don't like that. Okay? Yeah. I already have a problem, even kidding around with my wife. Across the street, the police like to hang out at the parking lot. Unfortunately, my bedroom and the living room where my wife works out is right there. My wife is not an ugly person, and she is top-heavy. And she's wearing workout gear. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody's sitting there going, hey, it's 4 o'clock. They want to go by the old parking lot, park there for a little bit. Especially at night. Like, who are you catching?
That's what you get. That's what you get when you marry a brainiac.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, baby. All them brains.
One building over is the red light. So you're not catching speeders. Don't fucking lie. There's no speeders. They're slowing down for the red light. So
we're waiting on that one guy who always runs the light, but we can't seem to catch him.
Right. Exactly right. And you're only there for the times that my wife is usually in the shower or working out. So again, don't want to say too much. But the bill, I think this is a great bill because we talked about how it's really an invasion of privacy. It really is. And the new bill is coming. Well, hopefully it's going to be passed. It's called the Facial Recognition Act. And it's going to compel law enforcement to get a warrant before using facial recognition, which is what we said on 2 separate episodes. You get a warrant. You show up at my house and say, I need your video footage. Fine. You have a warrant to get those. Yeah. You show up at my house and say, hey, can I get your film footage? No, you can't.
Yeah. I wonder how, because it can be done a couple different ways. These camera softwares that have these back doors built in for police access.
Right.
There's obviously ways you can shut that down and still be on the internet without that program being able to get out.
Yeah.
Changing some, closing some ports, some commonly used open ports.
Well, I think the bigger problem is the email that I got. Yeah. Where the anonymous person, and it sounded in the email like they were from law enforcement, but they're coming in and they're not going to be taking your doorbell camera video footage. They're going to be taking permission to take all of your footage because you might have a camera that faces outside. They might see a car kind of going off to the corner. Okay, I get that. I understand that, but you're going to take all my camera footage. So what about the time I was walking, down the hallway naked? Or what happens when my wife forgot a towel and was running down the hallway? Or maybe, we were getting busy in the den when nobody was home. I don't know. I'm just random shit.
JoJo came by with that special delivery.
Correct. I'm sitting at the kitchen table rolling a blunt. And it's still federally illegal, regardless of whether we have a license or not. It's federally illegal. So Can you get pinched? Maybe they catch my kids. We were 18 and 19 once. Maybe one of my older kids comes in with beer, like sneaking it up to their room. I mean, I'm not going to kill them for having a 40 in their room on a Friday night. I'm going to give them shit, probably punish them, but I'm not going to call the cops. But the police are going to take all this footage and be like, oh, that's a bad parent. We got to keep an eye on them. When you're supposed to be looking for carjacking.
If you're lucky, they'll go to that.
Right. And I just,
I don't like
also,
it. Yeah.
But this bill is also going to have them, the bonuses that they're going to have.
My entire security system is air gapped.
Nice. The added bonus for this bill.
Nobody knows it's there.
Nope. The added bonus is that they're going to have to submit an audit for their system once a year, which I love.
Yeah.
You and I love that shit because for geeks, we can find the problem. For you guys, it is a problem because we're going to find your loophole. We're going to find the shit that you've been doing. We're going to find out all that stuff because this does system diags as well as how they've conducted themselves and how it pertained to a case. If you order all the camera footage from 14 Belmont Ave and there's no court case related to anybody that lives in that house or that house itself or near that house, you're fucked. Oh, we found out it was your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, and you were seeing if there were people that were coming over. That's what Frebo and I are afraid of, people. Really. That's really what we're afraid of. is that situations, it's not that we have anything to hide. We really don't. We want our privacy. We want you to come with us, come at us with a warrant. Hey, good, not a problem, dude. I'd love to help the community. Do it legally. I'll help the community. But it's the outer edge crazies. You know, the officers that are going to want to stalk their ex-girlfriend or ex-wife.
You know, it goes back to the old saying, you know, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
100%.
It's simply a matter of, is this a beneficial tool in certain instances? Sure, you can make that case. But the end result, the onion parody becoming life, it's there. It happens. We see it all the time.
I think this bill is set up really well to protect us, which is really nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's set up well. Not like the idea of flyby deliveries. I don't think that plan is hashed out completely yet, in my personal opinion.
No, it's
so
coming.
We've heard about this.
See.
We've heard about this for decades. No, I shouldn't say decades. We've heard about this for years. It's the delivery service via drone. Yeah. So basically, it's a package attached to a bottom of a drone. They fly the drone. A good example is me. I hate to say that for you, but I literally 3 miles away is a FedEx distribution center. So in theory, they could fly a drone, a good-sized drone. You're talking the size of a kitchen table. Yeah. A good-sized drone. They're going to fly it over. They're going to know the address via GPS. They're going to drop down in my driveway and leave it there. Now, the problem that Fremo and I automatically said was things like dogs, trees, rain, people,
or,
just taking a pop shot at it.
Yeah, where I live, shotguns, 30-06s.
Right. So it was like doomed to fail. Well, in Australia, they actually did this. And the Australian Broadcasting Company.
It's back. It's back. Get the gun.
They're spying on us. I swear to God, I ain't going to let that happen no more. I'm going to root up in this basement. You ain't never going to get me out, tell you what.
We're going to have to work on the accent, but yeah.
I know, that was really bad. It was bad. It was not one of my best. So the Australian Broadcast Company, they recently did a story on a food delivery company that actually landed on a power line. Now, we have the picture up on the video feed. So if you want to get wherever you're getting, listen to the video feed, but it's fucking literally hit the power lines. It knocked out, it's funny, not funny, because it knocked out thousands of people out of power between 45 minutes and 3 hours.
Yeah. I do like how chill the power person was that they interviewed. He's like, hey, this is no different than like older generations flying their kites. We would tell people, if you give your kites to kids for Christmas, make sure they fly them somewhere not around the power line. So, if you're going to give your kid a drone, make sure they're flying it somewhere safe.
So, of course, being in BGFG fashion, I immediately put the story in for the simple fact of people like me and Fremo thinking about, wonder what the Yelp review was for that.
Right.
Received my chicken overcooked.
Completely charred. How do you burn mashed potatoes that badly? And then serve them?
I got a box of ashes.
And it was an hour and a half late.
It was an hour and a half late. I could just see certain people that I know calling up.
And to boot, it was cold when it got here, and I couldn't heat it up because the power was out.
Because the power was out. I know people that would have called them and be like, look, I've been waiting for like 3 hours for this. And then they would have turned around and went, I'm sorry, but we had an accident with our drone. I don't care about you and your drone. Okay?
Yeah.
My kids wait for chicken fingers.
Could someone not have driven me a new order once you realized that one was wrapped in the power lines?
It's so fucking great. I want to read the Yelp reviews, and I might take it upon myself this afternoon while you're out before we play Gears or something. I might take it upon myself to search Australian news articles just to find
you can find something on it.
Because there's gonna be some. There's gonna be some. Oh, well, we thankfully made it to the music segment with 15 minutes to spare for you.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah.
So Good.
Folks, I probably will not be back for the second half of this show.
Okay.
Got
You're
something
gonna miss
I've
out.
got to
You're
take
gonna miss
care of.
out.
I know. There's a lot of good stuff in the second half.
I know. We're going to be talking about the ARC GPUs. Let's give it a teaser. ARC GPUs with a couple of third parties that are just coming out called the Bifrost, which is very cool. The 770 cards.
Yep.
We're going to talk about Overwatch 2 and the disaster that shit's been.
No,
Absolute hell
no
show.
Overwatch 2 for you.
No, never you. A couple of stories that you'd be surprised that they announced, like a purchase for $55 million that nobody's talking about, which surprises me.
That was a big one.
And of course, because Freebo, before you leave, because you bust my balls consistently about PlayStation stuff, I am wearing my Xbox logo sweatshirt today. And I put purposely in here the October Xbox Game Pass releases and pullouts or pullbacks.
Oh, that must mean that there was nothing going on with Sony that you were excited about.
Absolutely fucking nothing. Not one bit of news.
Yeah. Finally.
And then of course we're talking about a couple of other things which I want you to catch up on when you're waiting in line today. Because a geek favorite at the end of the day, at the end of the show is truly exciting, and it's just nice to see it. All right, let's get on with the music and let Freemo get on his way. And I'll probably take a quick break.
Yeah, make sure when you get to the why is no one talking about this story that I may have to send you a couple of quips that I had planned out for that one for you to throw in there. In fact, which headline did we end up using for that one?
Let's see.
Was it the second one?
It might have been.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. That story is not the one I thought it was.
Oh no.
Yeah.
$55 million deal, bro.
Yeah.
It's a big chunk of change right there.
It is. What about the Stadia?
Oh, I didn't want to cover that. Hey, here's why I didn't want to cover Stadia. I'm glad we're going to talk about it now. So I sampled Luna from Amazon, which they're not quitting. It sucks. The controller's awesome. The service is great because it works off of S3. S3. So it works great, but they have like no games. None at all. Google yet again had the opportunity, like they've had with every fucking other thing that they've canceled. They've had the opportunity to make something great. They came out with a controller. They had access to a bunch of different developers. And then they just, like everything else, they just like, yeah, we're all set with that. We're going to close it down.
They got a serious case of the Microsofts.
Yeah, exactly. And the only person I've even heard complain about Stadia closing was some guy that used it and was on Red Dead Redemption and put it in over 5,000 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's not going to be able to get that character.
Move on to another game, brother. I don't know how old you are, but Fremont, I'll tell you, after doing this for 20 years, move on to another fucking game. Shit happens.
Yeah. It hurts, but this will be an important process of you learning how to go through the grieving process.
Yeah.
Because if he's as attached to that character profile for that game as it seems that he is,
yeah,
he is losing a dear friend. So he's going to need to learn how to handle that. Because as you get older, that happens more and more.
It certainly does. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the music. I want to take a break. We're going to come back. You're going to see a little bit of the format change because Fremont won't be here. What we're going to do this week is we're going to do a classic. This is from way back in 1996 off the Beautiful Freak album. It's the Eels, Novocaine for the Soul.
Yeah, good song. Really
Great
good
track.
Song.
Great track. So we're going to catch you on the other side for Stick Style and stuff. Fremo, you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later on. You can catch us both probably playing at some point today on Stick Style. Jump in, send us a friend request. Join us for any game as long as your skin is thick and you don't mind getting your balls busted.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't mind me treating you like I treat Phoenix. We'll be
exactly good. Right. That is exactly right there. 100%.
I pull. I don't care who you are. I'm not pull. I don't pull punches.
No, he
Whatever. There's no filter. Whatever pops in here comes out.
Absolutely.
That's why some of my
Don't even say friends because you don't have any.
no audio and video looks so choppy sometimes. It's because he's having to literally edit stuff out.
Yes,
so like I'll be talking and my head's this way, and then like in a split second, I'm like over here doing this. And
Yes,
like,
because I've had to zoom into the video so hardcore to get the one audio clip or one video clip out. Yeah, it's happened.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the Eels, Novocaine for the Soul on BGFG. We'll catch you on the other side.
Whoop, whoop.
Life is hard, and so am I. You'd better give me something so I don't die. For the soul, before I sputter out, before I sputter out. Life is white, and I am black. Jesus and his lawyer are coming back. Oh, my darling, will you be here before I sputter out? Before I sputter out. Before I sputter out. Guess who's living here with the great undead? This paint by numbers life is fucking with my head once again. Life is good, and I feel great, 'cause mother says I was a great mistake. Novocaine for the soul. You better give me something to fill the hole before I sputter out. Before I sputter out. Before I sputter out. Before I sputter
And again, welcome back. It turns out that Fremo did not actually have to leave. He is back. So during the break, I took a little bit extra time in the bathroom and whatnot, and I found out like my granddaughter came home, and even though she doesn't want to be part of the show because she's curmudgeon, but curmudgeon at a couple of months. Look
I'm
at
here
her.
to stick up for myself.
Look at
Say hi, Fremo. Okay. Say hi.
that.
Once
She's like,
again,
"This
Phoenix's
is
laws
fucking-"
are busted. She's not a curmudgeon. Look at that face. What a sweet child.
Well, the funny thing is, we were just showing my granddaughter on the air.
An
and
avocado.
it is.
I love it.
We were just talking about it, and because of the production rig
I'm gonna have to teach her first word, guacamole.
No, she's not going to learn that word, Free.
What? My one daughter's first word was bruschetta.
Your daughter's first word was not bruschetta.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I have a table full of people who can verify that.
She
They were
was sitting there,
there.
climbed up. Let me guess. She climbed up onto the chair at the kitchen table, sat down, pulled herself in, and went, "I'd like some bruschetta."
No, because then her first word would have been I. We were at a table at a restaurant with some people.
Yep.
And we'd ordered some ensalada caprese, some bruschetta. And I was like, Ellie, you want some bruschetta? Say bruschetta. And she's like, bruschetta? Of course, it wasn't quite that clear, but she tried to say bruschetta as her first word.
Oh, man. Next time you come up, I got to take you and the wife over to Italian food.
Well,
because we're super Italian up here. We don't go eat there because there's so much of it. Like, where exactly where I'm at.
Are you even surprised that I know what ensalada caprese is?
I was pleasantly surprised, I might add. So
It's like
down
one of my
here,
favorite apps, but you can't get a good one around here.
I don't disagree with you. It was like when we went.
You probably can't get a good one up there.
Oh, I disagree.
Probably a lot of. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying there's probably a lot of places that say they're Italian. But
yeah, there's, and here's why. Like when you came up here, your seafood is good because it's fresh and it's cultivated. It's awesome. But the seafood up here is like fresh, like literally in the back of the building. So Italian's kind of the same way. The Northeast is where a lot of the Italians went. So a lot of our Italian restaurants, like maybe north of me into the city, there's a lot of fresh. But yeah, there's a couple of those noses that are broken. But like Fremo just said, like there's places I know of for a fact that have opened that are like the Italian cuisine. It's like, dude, you're making fucking marinara sauce pizza. Like you're not.
You're buying your meatballs from a food service truck
from Cisco. Yeah. You're not hand rolling this shit. Yeah. But I could take you to a place up in Federal Hill.
I know where you're buying your cannolis from.
Yeah. I can take you to a place in Federal Hill that will literally have a couple of little old ladies sitting there making mozzarella, like hand rolling the mozzarella and making the raviolis and stuff for the lunchtime. And they're only open for like 5 hours, and then they're done. And as if they don't get tired.
Or I was gonna say, or if the mozzarella runs out.
Yeah, if it runs out, you're done. You're done. I'm sorry, no. It's like the maid from Family Guy. No, we close. I come on Thursday. So, anyway, Fremo's back. Let's get into this week's Stick Style again. Well, I'll restart it because we didn't get really super far. Because at least I get him here for it.
Gaming.
Fremo, let me tell you, last 2 beers out of the 6-pack for the Modelo Especial. Switching to the Negro. It's winter. It's cold up here.
You were already going to be on the Negro based on
I was, but it was like 60 degrees out. And I'm like, kind of nice out. Kind of good for a lager. But it's been cold. Like I've had to wear another jacket over my jacket, my sweatshirt on the way to work. Anyway, first up this week is the Intel Arc GPU, which we've graced upon because there's not a lot of information and it was questionable whether it was even worthwhile to talk about, really. Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of companies that have come out and said, hey, we get the next big thing, and it's awful. So the Intel Arc, you can see a picture of it on the video feed. It's essentially the card. I don't know how to explain this. It's made by Acer. Really looks good. It's got this, it's called Bifrost. So the Arc's coming out in the Founders Edition, which we'll get to in a second. This is a third-party one. First one to come out is the, Acer one. And I think it looks really good. It's called the Acer Predator Bifrost. It's got this Tron Blue effect, and I am a sucker for Tron Blue. As I was saying when my granddaughter was here, the entire production computer has all got this Tron Blue effect on it and Tron wallpaper and stuff. That's just me. I like that blue and black contrast. So this looks beautiful to me. It's so in the center, there's a Founders style blower fan in the center. And then on the outer end of the card, and anybody that's seen a GPU, you'll understand what I'm talking about. There's only 2 fans. The middle one is a smaller blower motor, like Founders Edition one. And then the end extended beyond the parameters of the card is an RGB fan. I'm not even sure what size. I would say 120, but it might not be.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from the picture.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a pretty looking card, which I really like. I like the fact that they have that. I have seen on other reviews and such, I've seen the 4090, which I really hope that one's a lie. So over my shoulder, you'll see the Xbox fridge. Now, if I brought the Xbox from upstairs down here and put it next to it, you realize how massively big that fridge is compared to the real Xbox. Granted, it looks the same, but it's not that big. This 4090 that this kid was showing on this video was freaking massive. Like, I don't know of too many cases that would hold it. Even my production studio case right here barely fits a Red Devil 6800. This 4900 looks like you need a EAXT case free. That's a 4090. It's like serious size, and I really hope that was because I glanced upon it because we were looking for stuff for the show, so I didn't stick on it. But if it's not a parody, that's too big. This one, this ARC one, looks beautiful. It's based on the ARC A770 for Acer. These cards are going to perform pretty much like a 3060 or a 6600 Radeon card. Not too bad. And I've tested those at work thoroughly. You and I would probably agree. You know, you're going to get 60 frames, which is your console, your average console. Shut your fucking mouth and stop sending me emails about how I run a 120 hertz TV with 4K, and I just love the way it looks and the smoothness. It's like butter. It's completely like butter. Dude, I don't care, okay? Because my 1080p 60 frames works fine for me and Fremo at fucking 11:30 at night when we get to play Horde. You know, we're not complaining. The frame rate's fine. There's no tearing. So say what you want. Anyway, you can tell how much that pisses me off when people send us emails and tweets and all sorts of shit about it, DMs. So these cards are going to perform like the 3060 and the 6600. And those are comparable cards. They're really good cards. Like you can get 60 to 100 frames on those cards. And if you get 100 frames on your game, that's awesome. Why are you bitching? Why? Because you don't have 400 frames? Like I actually talked my kid down, one of my kids down from a ledge, because he was like, I shut off everything. It's like almost in 16-bit. I'm getting about 430 frames. I'm like, yeah, but how's your fun factor?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can't really tell the difference. Right. Put it back to normal. And he did. And he's like, you know what? You were right. I can't believe he said that. Like when a kid tells you that or says, I'm sorry, and legitimately means it, like out of the blue, it's appreciation. And he's like, yeah, you were right with the ping times and everything. He's like, I really didn't notice. He's like, I've been playing for about 3 days on 120 frames at a ping of 12 milliseconds. He's like, I didn't notice. I'm like, right, you didn't notice. So having it at 4K and your ping time like 1 millisecond is irrelevant. You know, you enjoyed the game and you got into it. So this, to digress back, this ARC card is by Intel. The Founders card is around $350 to $400, respectively. Acer has not said how much. Again, I say the Acer card is going to be $350 to $400. They haven't said what their price is going to be yet. And I think it's going to be about $350 to $400. It's an economy card, like the 360, the 3060, and the 6600. Now, there's a limited edition, which, as you well know, Free, that automatically makes me want it. Anytime you put limited edition on something, odds are Phoenix is just sitting there going, what? What? And the lower number you can make, the more me and my wife are like, yeah. Like if I call my wife and I said, this particular item is 75% off, she wouldn't even ask me what the item was. She'd be like, get it. When it comes to this stuff, and she understands technology now. When she sees stuff like, I'm like, this is a limited edition. She's like, yeah. How much is it? Get it. Because it's limited. So this is the ARC 770, A770, and it's a limited edition, and it drops on October 12th. And the price is right there, Free, $329. That's a good price for getting quality, solid 60 frames.
Not bad.
With upwards of to 120, depending on your configuration and what you got going on in there. Now, I will say it from my experience at work. If you're the douche canoe that has a HP Omen or a Legend, Lenovo Legend or anything, or even as much as I hate to say it, if you have an Alienware, don't call us. Okay? Because your power supply can't fucking handle it at all. Any of the new cards. It can't handle it. What you have in there is what you have in there. Now, granted, if you ordered one card recently and you have a 30-something, odds are you probably have a power supply that can handle a 40-something. But there's no fucking need. Am I wrong, Free?
Nah. You're not wrong about that.
There's no need to get that. It's like going from an iPhone 13 to an iPhone 14 basic. Those models are exactly the same.
Hey, what kind of phone did you have last month?
iPhone 13.
What do you carry these days?
iPhone 14.
It's such a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
Yeah, dick. Anyway,
in his defense, it was a gift.
It was.
He did not ask for it or go out and get it himself.
Yeah.
I'm sure he dropped some hints, but
I did not. Well, I did, but it was for the Pro. I wanted the 6.7.
But I did.
I wanted,
and that's why I lovingly refer to him as Papa Berenstain.
Yeah.
do as I say, not as I do, kids.
100%. So you can use an ARC card, and again, I don't know, Free. I don't know. I've talked to the financial advisor for BGFG, and we're on the fence because they're going to be hard to get, and to review something that's just so fucking basic. Like, it's the basic of basic. It's going to work great with an Intel processor, no doubt. I expect all sorts of issues with an AMD processor. But again, it's like, why? I have a Red Devil 6800 in here. Upstairs, I have a 2080 Ti. There's just no need. I have a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. I don't need it. You know, even to review, it's like, what's the review going to be? It's a 3060 equivalent. What's the review? I can guarantee you right now that regardless of what you put it on, it's going to get between 60 and 120 frames. And that's your limitation right there. It won't go higher than that. It's just, it is what it is. But you can use that card to play Overwatch 2. You know, if it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's working.
Yeah, so Overwatch 2 didn't have the best launch day in the world, did it, Free?
No, it did not.
No, it did not.
Not a whole lot of excitement about Overwatch 2 launch.
No, because it failed miserably.
I mean, there was a lot of excitement prior to, you know, after they announced it and everything, but as far as the game and being able to play it, yeah, not a whole lot of excitement going on with that.
So if you've ever played Overwatch before, you can't play it anymore. You can't play Overwatch 1 at all, period. But you have to play Overwatch 2. Now, on launch day, Overwatch 2 was hit with a DDoS attack, which is a denial of service attack, which means they have to have a bunch of zombie computers hitting that one website like hardcore and possibly inserting data. Possibly. Now, at first, Blizzard got their servers back up. Then they got hit with another one, which... Like, the thing that really sucked, and I feel bad for them, is that the second hit of DDoS had a payload. And they crushed some shit. Okay? And again, this is where we get the mature content rating. So if you have little kids, get them away. They get hit with another one, and they got fucked. Like, fucked. Hard. So here's the list of what's going on currently. Well, I don't even know if it's current, because it's like a day old now. Server disconnects. I think they still have that problem. Mm-hmm. They got server disconnects. People that merge their PC and console are getting even more server disconnects. Incorrect locked heroes and items, which means if you got a special edition that had an unlocked hero or item, you're not fucking getting it. You're unable to invite friends unless you do this whole workaround thing that's like an alt tab. Anyway, it's this whole thing. And speaking of alt tab, if you're on full screen, will crash your fucking system. So if you're like me, I do that all the time. I use a full screen windowed and I back out of it. Even though with my setup, I should be playing full screen, unbordered. I do play bordered. That way I can do other things if I need to. Your shit will crash immediately. The camera may be misplaced on the map. Fremo, these next couple of ones I want you to just listen to. I know you're reading, but listen to these. Your alt tab in full screen will crash your system. The camera may be misplaced on a map when you launch. Your hero unlock challenges are not progressing at all. So to unlock the next hero, not progressing. You can work 5, 6, 7 hours. It's not adding up. And don't even think about using your SMS Protect, which is what you have to do prior to going in. So prior to going into the new game, you have to add your cell phone. So you can get an SMS message and alerts and things like that. It's bullshit, but they made it happen. This has a high potential to leave your client unusable. And then you have to log into your account and change your fucking phone number to another number that's a legit cell phone number. And the cell phone is required to launch the game. Oh, and did I mention that you also have issues with the mapping where you could be playing and in alpha, you and I have both beta tested games and maybe both of us. I had a quick sample of an alpha test. You and I both know how buggy shit can get.
Yeah.
That's what your job is at beta. I had to explain to my kid today. I'm like, you are literally, your assignment for that day might be spending 4 hours jumping around a map in a wall.
Yeah.
Just to see if you can break through. So they have holes in the floor free. You could be in the middle of a game and you can drop through the floor and exit. Yeah. Like falling off the edge on Splitgate. Same exact thing, except you're just on the map walking in a city. And all of a sudden you just fall through. Like this is really fucking bad, people. Like it's really bad. Can you believe
so essentially Overwatch 2 has not launched?
No, I would not say. I would say no. Honestly, I wouldn't play it. And I was an Overwatch 1 fan. I liked it. Yeah. I really wanted. I talked to you into a couple of times trying to get you to play. Like, I liked it. I thought it was a good team base. I figured our crew, me, you, Fatal, anybody else, Halo Cruiser, anybody else, we would dominate that game. I think we would do very, very well. But they suddenly, Blizzard turned around and was like, yeah, Overwatch, the original, that's going to be deleted from your system.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get Overwatch 2. Okay. A lot of people were pissed off. And as you and I both know, when you piss off the gaming community or the internet community, or you challenge Anonymous, you're going to get bit in the ass. I don't give a fuck who you are. Remember that motherfucker that used to drive around in the truck with his social security number on there for LifeLock?
Yeah. You don't do that no more.
He shouldn't have poked Anonymous.
Yeah.
Because when he did poke Anonymous on an interview, not only did they compromise his social security number, but they basically ruined his life. Like, they literally erased him. Like, it was amazing what they did.
Yeah.
With all that's going on, with these, it's easy to say how some shit's overlooked. I mean, you got this big server issue, and that's, again, you got DDoSed not once but twice, and the second time was with a payload. But now,
I wonder about who they pissed off, because this is a next level attack. This is not just somebody with a botnet. Put a denial of service out there. This is beyond that.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely a negotiated attack. It's something that was planned because now you have a payload. So the first one. So what I think Fremo and I are trying to explain to you is that with a DDoS attack like this, the first one was a proof of concept, and then once that proof of concept that you could enter it, and they didn't patch it, let you launch the second one. And
yeah, this isn't you stole someone's parking spot, like pulled in before they could, and you come out from shopping and your car's been keyed. This is you come out and your car's on block, There's no doors. The engine's gone.
If you go to bgfgonline.com, you will see a picture of a truck that got jacked of its rims. And the motherfucker put a jack stand in the center of the truck underneath and balanced it properly to take off all the wheels. That's some engineering shit. That's something that's planned. They know what they're doing. Yeah. And that's what, and what we're saying
they're
is
like,
that was...
They're like, hey, we're going to get the rims off this F-150.
Yeah, that's what it was.
F-150, which F-150? The XL extended cab, crew cab, which one we do? Oh yeah, you just need one jack stand for that. Done it hundreds of times.
Put it right on the wheelbase right here. You're good.
Yeah. There's probably within shouting well, I won't say shouting distance, within a short drive distance of where I live, there's probably a guy that has that information in his head.
Makes me want to play that again. Anyway, so with all this going on, it's easy to overlook some shit. And one of the things I want to talk about real quick in the next segment or in the next piece is fandom. Not femdom, but fandom. And you might not realize that you've used this service a shit ton of times. If you've been on Fiverr, if you've been on any wiki that explains a game or a movie, a lot of times this is derived from that. So fandom just purchased most of their competition, which is surprising, yet I can't believe nobody's talking about it. It's a wiki for gamers, mostly.
Yeah.
But then it diverts to like games, TV, movies, just about anything. And now they're proud owners of, get this, free, GameSpot, Metacritic, TV Guide, Fanatical, Screen Junkies, Game Frequently Asked Questions. Like Game Facts, I know you and I have used a million times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have Giant Bomb, Cord Cutters, which I know you and I have used, Comic Vine. Cost them $55 million, but they got access to all of them. That is a fucking brilliant purchase, people.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I love this one little side note in here. They also bought D&D Beyond, which they subsequently sold off to Hasbro real quick.
Did they? Holy shit. What the fuck? I didn't even see that. Did they?
They're like, yeah, throw that in. Yeah, sure. What was this that we got again?
I don't know what to do with
Hasbro,
that IP.
you want this? Okay,
yeah,
here
exactly.
you go.
You and I both know how that conversation went. It was across the desk. Hey, Free, you know what this D&D Online is? No, I don't. All right, let's sell it to somebody. Hey, call Hasbro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's that one company that still does board games? Hasbro. Yeah, Hasbro. See if they're interested.
Give them a call. See if they want to buy the IP. We got it. I mean, we could sell it. We'll sell it cheap. So, as you said before, I got called out for talking about PlayStation stuff.
You can't imagine that one, though. Sitting in some meeting with some millennial, and they're like, what's that one company that does board games? And he's like, what's board games?
You're a douche. You're not a good parent if your kids don't know what a board game is. Like, if your kids haven't flipped over a Monopoly or stormed off of a table that had Monopoly on it, you haven't lived yet.
Or had
in the Northeast,
completely crushed because they thought they had Clue figured out. And you've been effing with them the whole time because you had that one card, but you never showed it.
In your area, what is the Monopoly scenario? For us up here in the Northeast, it's pretty much a snowstorm. Snowstorms always dictate a Monopoly match and almost always ends bad. So what's your Monopoly down there?
That's a good question. It's usually
I love the eyes.
It's usually if everyone has the time at the same time to get involved in a game that long.
That's it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Wait, you guys don't have snowstorms.
You got like 5 adults that all have their own schedules. So trying to get involved in a Monopoly game, you know, we don't have. I mean,
see, this is why I know.
You know, early on, pandemic when everybody had to shelter in place. Yeah, we wore that out and some others, but.
So I
And I refuse.
There's so many reasons why
I've got to steal. I've got to find, and actually, I need to go after this one place called McKay's. It's like a used bookstore.
Okay.
Used games. They do used video. It's just a local, like, you take it in, and they basically give you credit, and then you go find some other stuff you want, and
Really.
Yeah. So I need to. I'm glad you said that, because I need to go and get some old school Monopoly boards, because I refuse to play on the new.
They have a digital one. We actually bought it here.
Yeah, but have you seen some of the new?
Yeah. Don't say it. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Wide awake boards.
Yeah, awake. Yeah, woke boards. So
I was trying to use that word.
Up here in the Northeast, it's very much a snow day game. So. Yeah. For us, snow days are about a foot and a half, and then they cancel shit, so you stay home, which is a whole nother issue with me staying home.
Snow days down here. I'm not going to say it's happened, but it's possible that some guy was outside with a wood chipper and some blocks of ice close to a main road.
Yeah,
and some county officials driving by was like, "Oh, is that a flurry?" Shut it down! Yeah. Shut it down!
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll get into the last story, which is the Xbox story. We'll be right back. Oh my! Sorry about that. Welcome back. So I just want to say that. So I understand that. I talk a lot about PlayStation because I think it's a superior console, not superior. Well, I think it's a superior. I think the consoles are the same because they are. But I think
hardware-wise, you're saying there's not a lot of difference.
There is.
Got you.
Correct. But the interface on PlayStation is 100% light years different. Yeah.
And we say this every week. I think they understand.
No, I want to say this because we're going to lead into something, because I got to go into a rant at the end of the segment. And I need to preface it by saying, and I think it's great, when you implement the PC, I think that's where Xbox excels, because you're making one account on both. You're recognizing the PC and the console people and the people that play on both. You're recognizing that, and that's really wonderful. I think that's great. PlayStation doesn't do that. They don't give a shit about the PC. There's a couple of apps, and they work, but they're not anything to write home about in any way, shape, or form.
I don't like their online play.
Their online play is not bad for you. But I will say
it works.
Fuck off.
When it's not being a hack.
It's a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
I think Xbox Game Pass is brilliant. And I think the new update to have you turned on the Xbox recently and had a new update where you went to go to games and it lists on the top bar? Yeah. Great. Phenomenal. Good on you. Finally, Xbox. It only took you 3 years. Good job. Great job. Pat on the back, pat on the ass, whatever you prefer. But my granddaughter. I love her. But
why can't we get some more mic time with her?
Because she's picky as to what she says. That's why. No, she's very.
Might actually like raise like the cerebral, intellectual audience. Like we might get some
no,
viewers.
That's not possible. That's not possible. Because people like you and I are going to be dumbed down when she starts talking. We're going to feel like idiots, like middle age or 90 somethings, and we're not 90 yet.
Remind me to tell you my my little boomer interaction I had with a guy.
Boomers are something different. No, I'll never.
No, I was the boomer in his eyes.
Oh, I get that all the time. I work with
a little Gen Zer.
So October 15th, there's going to be some titles leaving Xbox Game Pass. So I find this weird.
And that always happens, but I'm really excited about what's coming. No.
Let me ask you this. Do you prefer having the the games come and go on the first of the month or the beginning of the month, first week, whatever, first Tuesday, whatever. Coming and going at the same time. Or would you rather have them sporadically week to week?
I see the benefit of both.
Agreed.
From a time perspective on my end, all at once, just because I can get on one time and see what's there and decide what I'm going to grab.
Okay,
but that's just that. I mean, that's just me personally. You know, like
Right.
I don't have a lot of extra time like every week to go out and
Yeah.
see what's new, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So I mean, I see that. I see why you would stagger it though. That that makes a lot of sense. Keeps it fresh. Keeps people coming back.
Well, these
You know,
are
oh,
I'm
let's see
listing these in the show notes. I'm listing these just not randomly, but they're in order as to what's leaving the Xbox. But I didn't put the dates, and they are sporadic dates, like you said. So what you're looking at is you're looking at Blood Roots, Echo Generation, Into the Pit, Reign of Pain, Sable, The Good Life. Those are all going to be leaving by the 15th, I believe.
Right.
But there's new stuff coming in for October as well. So you got Chivalry 2, Medieval Dynasty, The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2, Costume Quest, Panic in the Basement, a BGFG story, Evil, spelled with 2 L's, Dyson Sphere program, which looks really scientifically interesting, but not enough to go. I need to spend 8 gigs on my Xbox for it.
Right.
That's what's coming down to. Scorn and A Plague's Tale. Now, A Plague's Tale is apparently a big to-do because it's only on other systems, and there's a big hoo-ha. I don't play the game, so I'm not going to talk about it because it would just do it injustice. If it's a game we should play, hit us up on email or on Twitter, and we'll check it out at our leisure.
Chivalry 2 is going to be a good old-fashioned hack and slash.
Yeah, it does. And it's a top-down, which makes me really want to top-down hack and slash.
Is it top-down?
Where's that?
I thought it was first person. No, this is the first person.
This is the first person
multiplayer.
Okay, so I looked at a couple of different games this week, and one of them was a third person, and one of them was a first person. Oh no! You know what it was? There was a first person vampire game I looked at, and it was a hack and slash but with your hand. And I'm like, I can't do this first person. Like third person, I'm good with.
Yeah, over the shoulder you really do need over the shoulder for hack and slash.
I don't know about this whole first person.
Yeah, you really do need over the shoulder for a button smasher, man. You really do.
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun. That's what's leaving Xbox. And like I said, there's stuff that's coming in too. Game Pass again. It's like, okay, both companies. I see what you're doing. You're offering this big plan. But like the AAA titles aren't there because you can't ink the deals. I'm sorry, but you can't. You're not inking a good enough deal for you to broadcast it, play it, cloud it, whatever you want to call it. You're not paying enough money. And that's not sad, but it's just, I understand it, but just don't play off like you're doing. Oh, we have a AAA game. Barely a AAA game. You know, like Elden Quest. I just made that up. Elden Quest. It was really pushed by EA, right?
Yeah.
But it's not really a AAA game, but it's got AAA backing. So putting it on the Xbox Game Pass just belittles it. Whereas PlayStation, you didn't think I was going to get it in, did you?
No, I knew it was coming.
Whereas PlayStation, literally the stuff that's released is pretty much by 3 months, I would say, time right now. 3 months time, it's on their PlayStation Now or
I mean, I get it. I get it.
Their Game Pass.
They've got their umpteen versions of Gods of War, and it's always out there. It's always available.
It is.
But if you want to play a AAA game that's not Gods of War, go to Xbox.
Okay. You know what? We're ending the segment, and there's a couple of things I want to touch upon. What? Oh shit! What was it earlier that we were going to talk about? And I said, wait.
Stadia.
What's the Stadia? So here's my problem with all of these right now. Oh, Game Bar. Hold on. I'm going to put that right in here just so I remember it. Because that's something that's going to... Oh, when you find out what I discovered, you're going to be so pissed. Well, but not surprised. That's not surprised, but pissed off. Anyway, so with the different games and game passes and shit like that, like Nintendo, you have your franchise, but you really, really, really depend on that franchise too much.
Right.
You depend on Mario. You have 3 IPs: Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart, which is a separate IP, I believe, Donkey Kong. I get it, and you can make a lot of money off of that, but you have to venture out at some point. Kirby is not venturing out, okay? Kirby is an offshoot of Yoshi, which is an offshoot of Mario. You're not reinventing the wheel here, buddy. We all see it. When you're PlayStation, it's like you have some great fucking games that look unbelievably good as exclusives. No doubt. They're really good. But you can't sell an entire console at $500 based on those few. God of War. Oh shit. I can't believe I can't think of it right at this moment. There's just games that look and
Are you looking for me? Are you looking for me for help on Sony?
Not at all. Not at all.
AAA names beyond God of War?
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Uncharted?
Oh, yes, Uncharted. So there is these franchise games that are on PlayStation.
Killed the Uncharted franchise by taking so long, teasing the movie and taking so long to get it out there, and then releasing what is essentially a bomb.
Yeah.
Have you watched that movie?
Nope.
Don't.
Nope.
Don't.
I will not. Yeah. Thank you for that. I won't. I'll play.
If you're a fan of the Uncharted games,
I played Uncharted, the original, and I was like, I got to play the series.
Essentially, what I gather, because obviously I've not played the Uncharted games. I've seen some gameplay of it.
Yeah,
looks really awesome.
Really good.
Was excited. I was excited about the buzz of the movie based on just what little bit I knew about the game, because that is one game that would get me to Sony. Is Uncharted, based on everything I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah. Even more so than Gods of War, which is an unbelievable game. I've actually played it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the movie, I watched it. I can't imagine how upset true fans of that franchise were disappointed in that movie. Like, I just watching it as a movie.
Well, apparently,
I didn't know what it was connected to. I was disappointed with just the movie as a whole.
Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah,
is another one that's been it's a great story, and if you watch the story from the first one, you'll realize that by the fourth one or the subset of the fourth one or third one, you're so far beyond what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Assassin's Creed, brilliant concept.
Yeah,
executed so well in the beginning.
Agreed.
And now it's just DLC over and over again.
That's all it is. Black Flag, I think, was the last true effort. No, seriously, Black Flag, I think, was the last true effort that company put into the Assassin's Creed story.
And I don't know who greenlit that movie.
Oh yeah, no, that's money.
But
that's money. That's all it is.
That movie could have been a franchise,
right?
And they killed any hope of that with that movie.
Yep.
No subsequent movies, no prequels, no spin-off series, nothing.
And we look at the games as a franchise game that keeps going and going, and you keep releasing it on the like PlayStation Now, the PlayStation Play. You have those membership systems in place, or subscription services. When you go up farther, when you go up to like Xbox, I'm sorry, but Xbox has the better software. You have Gears of War, Halo, Forza. Like, yes, you have Gran Turismo on PlayStation, which we didn't talk about before, but you still have Forza, and you have Forza Horizon, which is different from the Forza that you and I, Gen Xers, I think, are the last generation that likes the Forza racetrack one. Yeah. They need the younger generation needs Forza Horizon because you guys suck at driving. I'm going to call it out right now. You guys just suck. You just suck at it. But we like the Forza on the tracks because the tracks are made to break cars. So when you get to that level and you start realizing you understand how to tune a car, and you start playing that game, like me, Fremo, Fatal, like our entire group, and you understand how to set up a car and what you need to do, you start going, oh, yeah, so Nürburgring is not nice. Or you know what? The best example I would give, honestly, from Forza would be the Top Gear test track. Because it was literally designed by Lotus to break a car.
Yeah.
Literally. And I'm not kidding. And from Hammerhead to Gambone to the speed through, like, there's so much, like, if you're in a really fast, I'll give you an example. Forza is pretty much a simulator, not full sim, but pretty close in a lot of ways. And when you're driving in first-person view like I do, I don't know if you do, but in first person on a lot of tracks.
Depends.
Yeah. When we're going for time trials, it's first person usually. Yeah. So when you're taking that corner on the Top Gear test track, you're taking that high speed corner. You are literally putting your balls in your hand. You might as well just take, if you had a third hand, you would take it off, or you would just pop it out and be like, I'm gonna grab my nutsack and hold it for 1 second, because you're about to turn left. And just go, car, please hold.
Yeah.
On any car. Doesn't matter. It's really on gear. At that point, it's gear ratio and steering ratio. It has nothing to do with you at all. You can let off and go. But when you hit it at full throttle, it's like, oh. It's such a, you're like, you don't even care about the other two corners. You're like, whatever, these two corners are kind of hairpin, and I'll slow down. But that corner right there is the epitome of the track. And it's just, all the other parts are like, well, you got to downshift, or do you downshift? Which do you do? Or do you take this corner at full speed, or do you slide it a little bit? Like, there's a lot of questions within the track. It's designed to stress the car. But when you get to that full speed one, I'm sorry, but when they designed that, they basically went, this is going to be for the driver's balls.
Yeah.
How much balls do you have? There's a tire wall on your right side.
Can you keep the pedal all the way to the floor and make this turn? Period. That's what that turn is for.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Period.
That's all that is. Yeah. Oh, if you hit too deep, if you go, I can do it, I hit too deep, your car's going to bounce so hard, you're going to flip.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's really,
you got to be on the line. You got to start in at the right moment. You got to pull out at the right moment.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just so much. There's just so much to that turn.
Yeah,
there really is.
Yeah,
you stay in it. You stay in it just a fraction of a second too long, and you're spinning out.
The other night, I was so tired, I couldn't sleep. I played Nürburgring, which is just a series of corners. We won't get into that in this episode, but it's just a phenomenal game, like a track. Just like, if you want to just play around with the car, that's the one to do it. Anyway, I digress. Because before we leave this segment, the game bar. So here's a big, and I'm going to put this on our podcast. I'm going to put this also on our Stick Style Twitter. I have found the secret to the game bar problem. Game bar problem has always been that when you game bar from either the Windows PCs or from the Xbox, when you record a clip, which is the most de facto shit that people want, record a clip, record my voice if I check it, and that should record my party voice or my friend's voice. You will never be allowed to record the group or the game audio, game chat. Like, if you switch over to the game chat, that's never going to happen because there's too much litigation involved. If you start a party and you're in it, you and Fatal and Halo Cruiser and whomever else is in it, that will record that audio, provided that they allow it. There's a couple of caveats to that, but basically, if they allow it, it's going to be there, and I'll just hit the button. I have to go in every time and hit the button to record party chat. This works great. The problem is, what the key is that nobody wants to create a Twitch account and log into Twitch by force to enable this function on Xbox console. On the PC, it's readily available. When I hit the button, and I don't give a fuck what you send me for email.
Oh, that's gonna
I
give
don't
you some
care.
email.
Because the truth of the matter is, when Ask Fremo, when it comes to audio, do not fuck with me because I've tested every single possible scenario 100 times. I am telling you that when you hit quick grab or clip or whatever you want to call it on Xbox Game Bar, it does not record audio. Your microphone is off by default. When you record video, you can set it so that the microphone's on, which you really have to go in there and click like 4 different settings of 4 different parts of the computer. It's really shitty, but you can. Or you can just hit record and then unmute your mic. That will record audio for you and your party, providing you have it checked off in the game bar preferences, as well as your normal game preferences in your Windows PC.
Yep.
Then you're good. Now, where it comes to shit is the clips. Clips is where it's at. Fremo and I use clips a lot on our BGFG show that you're watching now because we truly feel that capturing these clips is going to entice you to watch the show or listen to the show. It's just funny clips. But the essence of the clips is being able to record it. So I can hit a button and it will record the last 45 seconds or whatever it is. When you do this on Xbox Game Bar, when you're playing an Xbox game, it does not record any audio whatsoever. Just your game audio. No verbal audio at all, which sucks. So you end up overdubbing stuff, which also sucks because you might not have the vibe or the person that was there.
Right.
When you record, you choose to turn it on and you have all of the audio, your game chat audio, your personal audio on both the PC and on the Xbox. On the PC, you recorded just your hard drive. On the Xbox, unfortunately, you have to download like Twitch to get it to work, which sucks. So that's your little piece of wisdom today, and I'm going to put that up on the website too, because that took me about 3 days of my vacation to figure out with testing. You know how I am, Free. I tested the literal shit out of this. like I can tell you this, people. When Fremo contacts me,
I can hear the groans of frustration here.
What?
I could hear the groans of frustration here while you were testing.
Yeah. Like I will test so hard that if Fremo goes, hey, how do I connect this and this to record somebody? And I tell him, he's not even questioning. Like there's no question. He just goes, all right, that's the way you do it. Because I've tested every other way to do it and it doesn't work. I've invested time in cables and connections and my God.
He's not kidding. I mean, like he's literally like, what if my freezer door is cracked 2 inches while I try this?
Yes. Yes.
And he'll get up and
that freezer
walk
door,
over to the freezer behind you. He'll crack it 2 inches. He'll come back.
Yeah.
He'll retry some settings.
Yeah. Just to get the audio to dump out or whatever. Yeah.
What happens if I try this during the winter solstice?
You'll actually, the pressure of your house and the heat coming on will click and cause dynamic pressure in a dynamic mic.
He's literally called me up. He's called me up in a panic. He's like, barometric pressure's just right. Get on now.
I haven't gone that far. Oh my God, that's awesome. I haven't gone that far.
She's ovulating. Get on now.
I have done that in the past. Let's get you for what it's worth. So first up this is a lot of depression, which is why this show is it's called Back in the Day, because there's a lot of stuff that's like important to us, and it just kind of failed. Like Onkyo, bro, filed for bankruptcy. Onkyo,
yeah, I don't know how that happens.
In 2020, they won an award at CES. Like 2020, pandemic, they won an award, and now their total liability is like $24 million. $24 million. Like what the hell? So they haven't been owned by Onkyo. Here's what my investigation found. For what it's worth, they were owned by Onkyo since 2020, but that was it. After that, they were owned by another company. They were losing traction in 2018 when they lost the rights to the Gibson guitar, which I didn't even know they had the rights to Gibson guitar in 2018 or prior to that. But apparently since like 2009 or some shit like that, maybe in 2003, they had they were working with Gibson for electronics. That's a big fucking contract. Gibson is next to Fender the guitar. You can talk Ibanez, you can talk everything else for niche players, but for the guy going into the Guitar Center dude, I want to learn how to play Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's a Fender for $300. It's all yours. What about this $150 one? No, you don't want that one. You want that $300 one. and that was Fender. Gibson was the oh man, I learned how to play guitar a little bit. I want to get a new guitar. Get that Gibson right there. You'll sound like Slash and Joe Perry from Aerosmith. And everybody from Skynyrd. Just grab that Gibson.
Everybody from Skynyrd. I like that.
It's true. Probably not 100% true, but you know what I mean. So they lost that contract in 2018. But in 2020, they were also picked up by Sound United. That was the same year they won Best in Class as CES. And as you and I have spoke about on the show, CES is kind of important. People want to shit on it in the past couple of years, but it is kind of important. If the people that are doing the reviews are doing their job, they're walking around that floor, as big as it may be, they're walking around that floor and compiling the best of technology that they're seeing. And when you get the best of their class, which is a home stereo, and they're maybe plugging in a home theater thing, or maybe they're looking at the button use, doesn't matter. It's still best in class of CES.
Yeah.
In 2020. That's awesome. Now, here's what people don't know about this company called Sound United. Sound United Free also owns Denon, Polk Audio, Marantz, which surprised me. See, your eyebrows just went up when I said Marantz. Marantz is one of those top-notch people. Pioneer Elite. They own all of those. As a side note, Free, I recently saw a commercial for a company, and I don't remember what kind of car it was. I really don't. I wish I did. But Freemo, they were, you usually hear the Bose stereo system available, the Harman Kardon stereo system in every Lincoln.
Yeah. Well,
this was,
here's the thing.
Dude, I saw one for Macintosh.
Yeah.
Macintosh. The Macintosh stereo company that makes tube amps and green glass. The fucking $2,500 receiver with no amp.
Yeah.
That company is now making stereos for cars. Yeah, I'm in. I'm buying that car. I spend more time inside the car than outside. I don't give a fuck what the outside looks. Does it brake? Does it stop? Does it go? How much gas mileage am I getting? Great. Is there CarPlay? Awesome. Oh, wait, it's Macintosh stereo system? Oh, yeah, I'm in. 100%. But this company, Sound United, I mean, they own pretty much everything you put in your home at this point. So why is Onkyo closing? Is the question I have. Like, I don't know. It's a subsidiary. It's a subsidiary, though. Why would you think business-wise that a subsidiary like that would claim bankruptcy as an individual like that? Like, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. There's no. I don't even have something off the cuff for that one. This one is, like I said, it
doesn't make sense. Yeah,
especially not over 24 million. When you're dealing with the names and the profiles of what they have, 24 million is nothing.
Nothing at all. You have Pioneer. Pioneer still sells big.
Yeah.
So in other news, what I was reading, I want to put in for what it's worth, was, did you ever hear that term, your life passes before your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that saying's been around, your life will flash before your eyes. Yeah, that's been around for a long time. I think it's pretty much It's pretty much universal. Everyone understands that saying. Everyone knows what it means. Everyone is okay with the fact that your life flashes before your eyes when you die. I think it's like a
100%.
given.
Here's why I'm laughing. Because you and I can't leave shit like this alone.
Wait,
This
let
is
me
why I
guess.
put it in for what
Some
it's worth.
huge government grant.
No,
for a study.
close. You are fucking close. Right. So if it was a huge government grant, we'd be like, yeah, so there's a huge government grant that said that they found out how. It's sus. No, what I'm saying is that they listed this as a scientific accident, not experiment. Okay? It was an accident, Free. It's an 87-year-old that's having a neurological recording because he suffered because he was oh fuck, what was the disease he had? You're looking at the story. What was the disease he had? The 87-year-old epilepsy. So they were giving him a neurological recording, and then he suffered a heart attack. Like, who the fuck has a bunch of little stickers on their forehead and suffers a heart attack? It is the most relaxing shit ever. Nobody can bother you. You're in a room, the door shuts, you lay back, you're sitting there, you're comfortable as fuck, and they're just recording shit off your forehead. The worst part is there's a sticky on your forehead and you feel it. It might pull your skin a little. This guy had a heart attack. A heart attack, people.
Yeah.
Did I say a heart attack?
Don't look over here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
So they were doing a recording of his brain waves, studying epilepsy. He dies of a heart attack, and this is a quote from one of the teams. This was actually totally by chance. We did not plan to do the experiment or record these signals. Right. And they accidentally got the first ever recording of a dying brain.
And I get it. I do. It records. So this machine, they said, it recorded 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after death that your brainwaves look like they're actually dreaming.
Or recalling memories.
Right. And I get that. I do. My question and Fremo's question is the guy that came in for essentially a rudimental exam suddenly had a heart attack. Like, I wouldn't have a heart. I have a bad heart. I take pills every day. But like, if I'm going to the MRI or whatever, that's just click, 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 click. Like, if I'm going there, I'm calm. Why? Because it's a sealed building, sterile room. I'm laying down flat. Nobody's bothering nobody. They're like, yeah, it's going to be like 15 minutes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And may or may not fall asleep. This guy had a heart attack, people.
Well, when the big man upstairs decides to punch your ticket.
I don't care if you're 87 or 57. A neurological recording laying flat on your back is not going to cause you to have a heart attack. I don't see that happening. But the fact that they recorded that 30 seconds before and after, the 30, but again, Ancient Alien going, and Subtopia Null living in, which is a show that we just talked about. It's a myth unto itself. 30 seconds before and after the person passed away, there was brainwave activity. That's fact, people. That's science. That literally
science.
It's literally science. So the fact that it's there, I can't dispute it. I can't, because it's science at that point. Like, what you believe, I believe in Freeman, I'll speak for you. We believe in that your ghost, your Holy Ghost or whatever, your soul goes to where it needs to go. Whatever you choose, whatever your judgment's going to be. But this is scientific fact that 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after you die, your brain activity is still like working at like your dream. You're dreaming.
Like an overdrive, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I think, is extremely interesting. And lastly, for this week, I am so happy to announce. Did you click on the link yet? Yeah, see? Fremo clicked on the link for the first time. I'm glad he waited. And he's just smiling and nodding his head. So, there you go. Arm up, baby. So, a Geek Classic has now been available again and fixed and and better. It's called Window Blinds. It's called Window Blinds 11, actually. And it's kind of in beta right now, but dude, don't even worry. So Stardock is a software company. They're making window blinds. Stardock's a software company, been around since 1993. Fremo and I have probably been using them in one way, shape, or form since 1999. Yeah. Anything. Audio, commercial. At one point, in fact, when Fremo came over, I know for a fact I still have my Windows machine that was it was fully hot rodded by Stardock. Fully hot rodded. It didn't look like Windows in any way. It looked more like Linux, if anything, a hybrid Linux unit. So this company is so old, and only Gen Xers, like geek Gen Xers, are going to get this. They're so old that they originally developed OS 2. Did you know that, Free?
I did not know that they did OS 2.
OS 2! The direct competition to Windows that Bill Gates personally took personal interest in destroying. And it was a better operating system. I worked with it twice in my career, and it was far superior to Windows.
I wonder if we got in touch with these guys, if they could make a Bob version for Windows 11.
That would be pretty awesome. Somebody can do it. Absolutely. So they now they're not a one-trick pony. Stardock is not a one-trick pony. They also did some strategy games like Galactic Civilization, Sins, Solar Empire. There's a lot of games that they did, but their real claim to fame is their interface customizations, which is what Fremo and I are talking about. Window blinds, it allows you to change the way Windows looks and feels. So you might have a Windows 11 or a Windows 10 right now. So imagine taking a Windows 10 and making it look like Windows 11 for whatever fucking reason you want to do it. It looks like Windows 11. Or you miss Windows 7. You can make it look like Windows 7. Or maybe you miss another operating system or you want the corners more rounded. You can do that in Windows blinds. It's just a phenomenal piece of software. You can even make it, you can download the program, the theme, to make it look like Windows XP. For me, and I don't know about you, but I was talking to my wife about this today. When I see the Windows XP grass, and I see that blue bar in the bottom, I actually have a little piece of calm. I'm like, I can only assume that subconsciously and mentally that was the last time I felt comfortable.
XP, for all the problems it had in the beginning, was the most rock solid.
Service Pack 2.
By the time you got back to by the time you got to Service Pack 2, of course, Service Pack 3 came along, and
that was
did
more
some things.
Yeah, it's corporate.
But XP Service Pack 2 was the most rock solid operating system they ever put out.
Right.
In my opinion. I know there's plenty of people that will disagree with that for many, many reasons. If you want to go down the checklist with me, we can. But in my opinion, XP Service Pack 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. And
I still have in my bag right now, my work bag, XP Service Pack 2 install disk.
Yep. Yeah. I have it on the USB as well. Somewhere around here, I have it on the USB. It might be this one right here, actually.
A little shiny orange holographic CD. With the key on the sticker on the back flap.
Yeah, I have the key on the text file on the hard drive. Anyway.
Why, you ask? Why? Because I'm not above throwing an XP Service Pack 2 VM on people's machines here and there.
Yeah. Seriously, because I can navigate it real quick.
You want to play this game? I've got the solution for you.
Yeah, see,
don't try and run it in compatibility mode. Don't try and make your PC work with. I've got your solution for you right here, good sir.
Yeah. It's so true. And they have a lot of programs too. Start 11. That's going to change your start menu if you want to. Deskscapes is like Wallpaper Engine, which I love Wallpaper Engine from Steam. It's just, you should have Wallpaper Engine on your computer. Like one of these days. In fact, my daughter happens to be moving out. So I want to get my studio room finally. And once I have the studio room going, I'll give everybody a tour of everything, including the stuff that I always get comments about in the back, from the helmets that are over there to the collectibles. And that's not even a portion of what I'm bringing down. So once we
But
get into
let me
theirs,
sum up Windows blinds for you real quick.
yeah.
If you don't like the way that Windows 11 looks like Mac, then get Windows bonds. Make it look like Windows.
Yeah, that's 100% right. And look, most applications like the Object Desktop, well, Object Desktop is more like their central menu system for all their programs. But you can get like Cursor FX, Deskscape, Start 11. You can get all of these for only $4 each. That's a good deal. Trust Fremo and I on this one thing that we're not speaking like third. You heard it here third. We're saying that we've used this. This is quality programming right here. If you want to update or change the way your Windows looks, production PC I can't because I need stuff native. But there's a laptop I use. Oh, I'm putting Windows blinds on it, and you can make shit sliding out from the side. You can literally monopolize everything on your computer system, 100%. You can make it look like whatever you want. You want to make it look like something you saw in a sci-fi movie? Make it look like that. It's available. All right, that's it for this week. I don't think I have anything else. You gaming today?
Yeah, probably in about 15 minutes if you want.
Nice. I want to go take care of some
we'll
things.
make it half an hour. You
Yeah,
go drop the kids off at the pool.
Kind of. And we'll do, I don't know, we'll probably do some chord. Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah, so that's it. So if you want to catch us on Stick Style, we're going to really keep that separate right now. I was thinking about bringing them both in together into BGFG, because we do BGFG gaming every once in a blue moon, just because I'm down here. But I think we're going to just keep the Stick Style, because you got to go to a Stick Style YouTube channel. It's kind of on, I like it. I'm proud of it. Like a lot of times we record, and I did figure out on Game Pass, like I said earlier in the show, if you're on your Xbox console or on the computer, fire up your Windows G for your game bar and just hit record. Edit, stop and start again when you want to edit, but do that and uncheck the microphone and you'll have all your audio. As long as you have the settings correct. Check your settings. I figured out how to do it on the Xbox free. So if we want to record on the Xbox Stick Style, when we're playing on the Xbox, we can literally send it to Twitch live.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So let me go take care of some things, and that's it for this week. 10 Down show's over.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for tuning in. You can find more of this funny stuff at bgfgonline.com. Please click on the donate button. This is a user-contributed show. And follow us on Twitter at BGFG Online and Facebook, Phoenix Media Group. See ya.